What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. Give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the data points, what's influencing it, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down 1.12%, nothing really crazy this morning. A lot of that is just shorts. So shorts are increasing roughly around 100,000 shares. Good data has been coming out. So from the States, you had PCE in line with expectations. And then in China, you had the NBS manufacturing a little bit lower than the forecast, but still it is above 50. So it shows more of a market expansion is coming and kind of transitioning, because the previous was 49.8. So I think this is absolutely phenomenal data from both areas. And the reason why I bring up both is because both kind of influence NIO in different ways. But no actual news associated to NIO. I think a lot of us know that the next big catalyst is coming out tomorrow. So during power hour today, I do anticipate a lot more buying for NIO. So a lot more entities getting in, just in anticipation of good numbers. But right now as well, one thing that is really dragging it down is Lee. So they unveiled their earnings. Wasn't necessarily the best. I was able to look at some of the key highlights, but so far not all that great to Wall Street's expectations, I guess. But 7.12% is what it's down. So I think that's kind of pulling NIO down slightly as well. One thing that I did want to share with you, so this individual, Mr. P, I guess, put out a video where William was kind of doing a speech. I think he said at a business school or something like that. In his video, he kind of summarizes it and stuff like that. But if obviously William was actually stating that, I think that would be huge for NIO, because not only did he state that he acknowledges that the stock price is very low, but in the coming years it is going to be higher than what it previously was, which was roughly around that $60 range. And he kind of just talks on how AI is going to be the big thing for just EVs going forward and whatever else. So yeah, I really like that. Again, dependent on if the translation was correct and whatever else. But yeah, I think that's something good to take note of. Is that reason to go out and buy NIO because of this? I'd say not really. I like his confidence, but in general, the stock price over the last 3 years has been very heavily manipulated. So sometimes just Wall Street hasn't liked it. And even when I've covered it in the past, there was weeks and weeks where big money wasn't even touching NIO. So I think it's all fine and dandy to have good future expectations, but sometimes the stock price doesn't always correlate with that. And I think NIO is a very good example of that. But aside from that, like I said, shorts are increasing roughly around 100,000 shares. Ortex seems to be glitching somewhat this morning. So I think they're kind of doing an update. So it usually freezes every time I go on it. So I'll do a PM video and just kind of summarize exactly what did happen today. And then aside from that, looking over here, so there's roughly around 5 transactions occurring on the dark pool. So I'll start bringing up the dark pool a little bit more often than what I was. I think a lot of big transactions and shorts do hide a lot of their deals through the dark pool, especially when they are returning shares. And it kind of goes to show more of a kind of partnership, not a partnership, I guess, but with market makers. Market makers are purposefully diverting, for instance, shorts covering through the dark pool and stuff like that. But so far, 5 transactions this morning, roughly between 7 and 7:16, 241, 106, 105, 435, and then 106. Then no transactions so far on the secondary market above $100,000. So dark pool has been fairly active. So yeah, this is a quick summary for you today. Right now, though, with it at $5.30, it is trading between these 2 points, so this S1 and the pivot. So 468 is going to be the strong support, and then 612 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. It's just been trading between these 2 points over the last little bit. It's just, for the most part, been following the moving averages, and right now the 50-day moving average in this case is roughly around $5.39. So it needs to hopefully fight back and stay above that. And I always like to look at the simple moving average. So the 50, and then right now the 200 is 506. So it's probably just going to be trading between those 2 points. So the 506 and that 539, at least in the short term. But yeah, I think NIO is just a very volatile stock right now. And if you do believe in it, what it's doing, bigger picture, then take advantage and average down. But even though William does state that the stock price is going to go up and should over time, there's always sometimes not a correlation between what happens operationally and what happens with the stock price. So just kind of be aware of that. Hopefully everyone's having a good morning so far. Happy Halloween to those that celebrate and have fun with that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then take advantage of this promo because it gives you 8 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. With that said, appreciate all of you watching.